This video shows you how to query data with SparkSQL and visualize that data using Brunel with IBM Analytics Engine in a Watson Studio project. Open the Watson Studio project that has IBM Analytics Engine listed as an associated service. The first thing to do is load a dataset into the project. You can find a dataset in the gallery, in Watson Knowledge Catalog, in an existing connection to an external data source, or upload a local file through the File slide-out panel. This stores the file in the associated Cloud Object Storage bucket. The dataset used in this video is New York City's 311 complaints, which is available as part of NYC Open Data. Here's a sample of the data file. During the months of October to May, residents of New York City can call 311 to report that a building doesn't have enough heat or hot water. In the remaining months, June through September, complaints can be made that the heating has been left on. There may be a number of different factors that contribute to heating complaints, but in this video, you'll select a few of the features available in the data to see if they suggest any correlation. Now you're ready to create a notebook. In this case, the notebook will be from a URL in the GitHub repository. Provide a name and description. Select the Analytics Engine service for the runtime, and then create the notebook. The notebook includes a link to download the data from the GitHub repository. Now you're ready to run the notebook. First, import the OS module, which allows you to interface with the underlying operating system that Python is running on. Also import matplotlib, which is a collection of command-style functions that make matplotlib work with MATLAB. Pandas is the main library in Python for data analysis. And lastly, import and install the Brunel package, which will be used to visualize the data. Next, you want to read the data. Since the data is stored in the Cloud Object Storage, you can delete the contents of this cell and replace it with the code for your data. From the File slide-out panel, use the file's Insert to Code function to insert a Spark session data frame. Then change the data frame name to match the variable used in the rest of this notebook. Then run the cell to read the data file. Then you'll see the first 5 rows of the dataset. This next cell displays a count of the rows in the dataset. And this cell displays the inferred schema. Now you're ready to do some data exploration. This cell creates a temporary view containing the data so that you can use SparkSQL to query the data. The next cell displays a unique list of the boroughs listed in the New York City data. Next, find the complaint type with the most complaints in the Manhattan borough. This statement uses the cache function, which will make future queries faster. And now display the top 4 complaints. Next, get a visual representation of the data. The next cell contains statements to create a custom Pandas data frame, which will be used to create a bubble chart in the following cell, where the size of the bubble represents the number of complaints. The complaint type is assigned a color, and if large enough, the bubble is labeled. Otherwise, the type is displayed when you hover over it. You may be wondering how the number of complaints varies by zip code. This code removes any data points where a zip code hasn't been provided and filters down to those that are of type heat, hot water. The results show the top 20 rows. Similarly, if you wish to use the result of these queries for future queries, but don't require the data as a data frame, you can create a table directly from the query as seen in this next cell. Let's see which date and zip codes had the most complaints. The created date field includes a time. Therefore, this statement uses the split function to use just the date. It also limits the data to only hot water complaints for the 2016 calendar year. The results show the top 20 rows. There's plenty more you can analyze with this dataset, so download the data and the notebook and try it for yourself. Find more videos in the IBM Analytics Engine Learning Center.